Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for everyone out there. My name is Anthony Ray, and I am the immigration attorney here at Ray Law International. Uh, for our July live stream, this is our date and time for that to go over immigration questions. Today, we really wanted to um, we really wanted to make sure that we address some of the business immigration questions out there. So, as we'll put on the screen for those out there, go ahead, post your questions about immigration. We'll probably talk a lot about employment-based immigration today. However, if you have questions about family-based or other areas, reach out to us. We are connected with many other immigration attorneys. So for those cases that we just don't handle all the time, we'd be more than happy to make a referral so that you guys are taken care of. So we're going to put that information on there. There you go. Go ahead. If you have questions, remember, this is your time that we set aside for the community, our listeners out there on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and other social media, that if you have immigration questions or concerns, this is your time and opportunity to connect with an experienced immigration attorney. Just a little bit about myself. Again, Anthony Ray, I've been an immigration attorney for about 25 years now. It's kind of odd saying 25 years. Don't feel like it, but when you continue to practice and do what you're doing, time does pass. So 25 years. Ray Law International, we have offices in Michigan, Chicago, and New Jersey. We represent clients nationally and internationally. So it doesn't matter where you're at. Feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to connect with you and see what we can do to help. So today, while we wait for your questions, I wanted to go over four things on the list that I wanted to touch base that I think would be interesting and helpful for the community. So as I maneuver and work the screens and everything, feel free to be patient, but go ahead, say hi, let us know where you're from. And if you've had immigration experiences in the past, whether it's employment-based, let's say you're an HR specialist and you're really struggling with labor certification issues or H-1Bs or TNs or E-visas, let me know, or just put it in the chat. Let us know what's on your mind as far as immigration goes. If it's immigration more political, what's going on with politics, we do have an election coming up in less than 100 days here in the United States. Either way, our immigration landscape will change from January. So everyone really needs to be paying attention to what both the candidates are saying. And as we find out more, we'll definitely share not only what both candidates are saying, but also what the current president, President Biden, is proposing. There's more information coming out about parole in place and providing work authorization for certain dreamers out there. So stay tuned. There's a lot happening in immigration, and it's going to be an exciting, second half of the year, third and fourth quarter here. So the first thing that I wanted to share and talk about with you guys refers to some of the issues happening in the employment-based side. On the employment-based side, we've had a technical issue with our labor certifications with the Department of Labor in the certifications. If you're not familiar, U.S. employers can petition for their employees, foreign national employees, to work in the U.S. Now, they don't have to immediately be working with you. They could be abroad, let's say in South Africa or Europe or Asia, and then once they're done or the green card is issued, then they can bring them over. So there's three stages to this process. The first stage is labor certification, where we test the job market. The second is where the employer petitions for the employee. And third and finally is the actual green card application. That's where if the foreign national is in the U.S., they apply for a green card. If they're abroad, they apply for something very similar called an immigrant visa. So we're just going to focus on the first because that's where the issue comes into play. And if I can, I'm going to try to share my screen and kind of show you what the issue is. I'm going to show you an example of a certified, actually one of our certified ETA 9089s. I've redacted some information so that it will not disclose any, client or personal information. Just a moment. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Let's see. Windows. Let's see. And again, if you guys have questions, also put our contact information. If you don't feel comfortable posting a question on the chat, feel free to give us a call. Our receptionist is standing by and would be more than happy to schedule a time with you. As you can see on my screen, this is an example of a certified permanent labor certification application, Form ETA 9089. So here, what we're looking at, and the whole issue has to deal with this what's happening. The main problem is the wrong information is getting into the certified labor certification. So the job title in the system is pulling from the SOC code job title rather than what the job title is on the ETA 9089. So here's our issue. The issue is, as you can see here under F, there's the SOC job title. It says financial managers here. And then down under H, we actually, let me see if it has, oh yeah, here it is. We have the actual job title, financial manager. The problem is what they're saying is the system is pulling from the SOC code and putting it on the certification. This SOC code is here under the prevailing wage. It comes with the prevailing wage. You can see the code. It's pulling directly from the SOC instead of what the actual job title is listed for the employer. So the job title here, financial manager, they're roughly the same. However, that's not always the case. There's many times where the employer will have a different job title. It may be similar in the category of financial manager that they want to use. So in this case, they want to make sure that the job title is correct. It has to, the certified labor certification application must match the job title given. Now, to address this issue, the Department of Labor has already put out a statement that they're going to make a change, and they've actually corrected the problem. Now, there's a gap. There's several labor certifications out there that already have the incorrect information. The USCIS has already posted and announced to everyone out there that they will still accept those certified ETA 9089s. Now, what they've done in the FLAG system, FLAG, that's an acronym, but in the FLAG system, the Department of Labor is going in and providing an updated ETA 9089. So either way you go, the employer, you're going to be fine. Obviously, it'd be great to have the updated and the correct information. That way, even though the USCIS says that it will, honor the certification, you don't want to challenge from one of the USCIS officers who maybe didn't read their own memo or feel differently than what the memo has stated. Now, there's many ways you can address this from the attorney standpoint. You can definitely include the notification from the Department of Labor of the technical error issue, and also the notification, the public notice from the USCIS that says that it will be accepted when you file your immigrant petition. The immigrant petition is Form I-140. So that's the first one that I wanted to share with you guys. It's a little technical, but it is critical. A lot of people, this whole process to the labor certification process, depending on whether the case is audited or not, can last anywhere from 6 months to 15 months when you throw in how long it takes the Department of Labor to get us our prevailing wage. Now, in our YouTube channel, there is a description that goes over the whole process of labor certification. at this first stage. So feel free to go back, visit that. And we spend about an hour or more going over the details of each of the steps of this process and what's entailed and how long it takes. Now, processing times with the Department of Labor vary, so always check with your attorney to make sure that you're aware of that. In addition, there are employers that really don't communicate this to their employees, and they're sort of left in the dark. Many people are left with, it's been in 6 months, a year, and they don't know where their green card process is at the first stage. I encourage all employers to, even if it's a simple fact sheet, just give it to the employees, let them know that their case is progressing. It gives them peace of mind. It helps them to focus on their work and building the business rather than worrying whether the attorney is actually paying attention to the case and making it move forward. All right, that's the first one. The next one I wanted to share with everyone, this one is, I don't have a slide for it. We did talk about it a little bit earlier this year, and we are finding that some employers are still surprised that there's this filing fee out there. What is this new filing fee that's surprising and shocking all the employers? It's the new asylum fee. Now, the asylum fee has been added to all employment-based cases, whether you're filing for a non-immigrant, such as H-1Bs, TNs, Ls, Hs, etc., as well as immigrant employment-based categories under the EB 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So if you're in the employment-based area, general rule is you got to pay an additional asylum fee. Why are employers paying for asylum applications? That's what the administration and the government has come up with. Someone's got to pay for it, and so they're putting it on U.S. employers and foreign nationals working in the U.S., unfortunately. The fees are up $300 if you're 25 or less, fewer employees, excuse me, and then it's $600 if the employer has 26 or more. Now, there's a whole bunch of exceptions, such as nonprofits and etc., but for the majority of us, it's going to be 300 or 600. So when you get your quote from your attorney or from us, you'll see that asylum fee on it. No, you're not applying for asylum. You're actually contributing to supporting the costs that it takes to, handle all the cases. And we'll talk about things that are going on the border and, what that money could be going to. So feel free to check that out. So again, asylum fee, $300 for any employment-based, non-immigrant, immigrant case where their employer has 25 or fewer employees, and $600 for employers with 26 or more employees. Okay, so please remember that. Let's see. Anyone have any questions yet? No questions yet. So feel free. Those watching, jump in. If you have an immigration question, this is your time. We're going to touch base on 2 more topics before we wrap up today. So if you have questions, we'll stay on a little bit longer. If not, we'll connect next time. On the screen, we'll put on there that you can also call in or send an email in. Our team is ready and waiting to get you connected with our intake process, or if you're a corporation, we would love to sit with you and show you how us, Ray Law International, as a minority business, can partner with you. We don't need to take over all the work. We can split the work, and you can compare and see how we perform and provide services better than your current services that you have. Now, the next topic that we wanted to go over, let me pull that up. Okay, the next one's pretty major. We're seeing some delays in receipt notice filings and filing fee processing. So generally speaking, when we file a case with the USCIS, we generally will get a receipt notice from them within 1 to 2 weeks. It's usually what I tell my staff or my my clients. And that's been the norm. You file it, we get notification. Our firm, we use FedEx to make sure it gets there, it arrives timely, and then a week or less, usually less than 2 weeks, we're going to get a receipt notice from the USCIS. What a lot of attorneys are seeing nationwide is a delay in that process. So a lot of these concerns have been raised. Also in processing the filing fees. Things have been filed, it may be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and our clients are concerned, hey, the check hasn't been cashed. What's going on? Or I haven't received a receipt notice. So just to let you all know out there, yes, you're not the only ones. A lot of people are experiencing this, and large organizations such as AILA, the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and others has voiced this to the government for them to rectify and take action and get back up to speed. That being said, um, the processing times are a lot better in many categories compared to what we were dealing with 2 or 3 years ago. It's night and day. It's good to see a lot of things processing quicker. However, we still are seeing delays in other areas. So we're not out of the woods of getting the USCIS and other governmental departments back up to speed where they need to be. All right. So processing delays, if you're experiencing them, rest assured, we'll see what happens next month. Hopefully, we'll continue to see improvements, and we can get back to normal processing times. But some of the processing times, such as Ls and H-1Bs, we're seeing those come back down to normal processing times, 2 or 3 months. And if you're using premium processing, obviously that's going to be even quicker. So that's good on the employment-based side. We do want to see some more improvement on the family-based side. All our I-130s, I-129s. Now, even though the stated processing times for fiancé visas and green cards for those marrying a U.S. citizen or family members is still up there, 8 to 12 months, depending on which service center you're at, we are personally seeing some of those come in a lot quicker. A lot quicker. So our team is doing an amazing job. I just want to say that to them publicly, that they're doing an amazing job of putting our cases together, getting them done quickly so that we can move the cases quickly. So why is that important? Remember, these are family members who are waiting abroad, relationships that's been divided by oceans, long distance relationships that really wears on the family and the couple or the families involved. So it is imperative that the government process these cases as quick as possible. The quicker we process the cases, the sooner we can get them here and together with their family. So keep an eye on that. We will keep you guys updated as we get more information, and also letting you know, in spite of what the government is saying, what are we experiencing at our firm and how our clients are benefiting from our service and having a well put together case. So thank you, my team, for moving those cases quickly. Now, let's see. Let me see if we have any questions. No questions yet. Feel free, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, whether it's YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. It doesn't matter. Go ahead. Let us know what questions or immigration questions are in your mind. Next, the next and final one I wanted to touch on, maybe we'll hit on two. They're kind of interesting. One is, this is from Politico, and I'll share my screen and let's see if we can share our screen and get that on. Let's see, Politico article. Excellent. Here we go. All right. There was a recent article put out, and Trump has stated that he wants to deport millions once he becomes president. Now, as you can imagine, with all politicians all around the world, the U.S. politicians are no different. They're going to feed information that they think you want to hear, and also feeds their messaging. So whether you listen to whichever presidential candidate you listen to, you need to have additional information and filters going through. And that's sort of what we're doing here and what this article does. So the idea of deporting millions of people is possibly very attractive, but it's important to understand that there's limitations. And we're just going to run over this a little bit. This article is really good. I highly recommend that you reach out to review it. But it also shows you through this article um, that presently President Biden, even though they don't, put it out there as much as other people would like, they are deporting a lot of people. So almost as you can see from the article, almost 2.4 million people were deported under Title 42 as of 2022. Biden has continued to deport people in high numbers, and on the tune of deporting like 2 million each. That's quite a few people. That's a lot of people to deport, and the whole point of it is if you want to deport more people, okay, you're going to have more resources, which means not only, no matter how much money you throw at it, you're going to have to hire more CBP officers and other officers to facilitate. You need more judges, you need more holding locations. So while Trump's plan of, gathering up all, 14, 11 million, however millions of people who are here legal together and putting them in camps and deporting them, conceptually, it's really impossible. Um, Even if we had enough money, even if we taxed all the US citizens, you still need to find the people to actually have the manpower to do it. And that's really what CBP and they're saying is the manpower is almost at its limit and the number of people they can deport annually. And the problem is not going away. And a lot of what they've focused on is the border, right? They haven't touched about the other 11 million people already here who have been here for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So a lot of the immigration reform that's required really needs to go beyond just the border. I know for political reasons, it sounds interesting. It sounds great that we can just put a wall up or hire more people and deport more people, but that's not the solution. There's got to be a better solution. Congress is the only one that can really implement that, and we really need, sensible, responsible immigration action, not only on the removal that we're talking about now, but we want to hear positive immigration. Our businesses really do need people to work. We need more H-2B visas that aren't limited by a quota, that aren't seasonal, for example. We need something a little bit more flexible from from the medical industry. For example, home health care is huge. A lot of workers are in need, all across the U.S. with the aging population. There's not enough workers. There's not enough doctors. If you go down to Florida, I mean, you've got to wait 2 or 3 months just to see a doctor. It's ridiculous. Our medical situation needs these people. And the only way to fill it is through immigration and allowing other people come in. The U.S. citizens here are just not having enough children and going through the process in order to have them go into STEM fields such as science, math, technology, and engineering in order for us to meet the needs of all these employers. So either way you look at it, whether you're against immigration or not, your life is going to be impacted by immigration, whether it's the food you eat, the services you get when you go to the hospital, whether the hospital is even open because they don't have nurses or doctors to provide you the service that you need. Where immigration is intertwined, it's interwoven into everything that we do, whether it's the products we buy from China or some other place, we're connected. And it's important that we have sensible, realistic immigration reform that helps in all those areas. So one of the final things I wanted to touch base on is Biden has introduced information regarding parole in place, which is PIP, look out for information on that through a lot of our shorts, our short videos that we put out there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're always putting out information out there, and also on LinkedIn. And then as well is what Biden is trying to do for those dreamers that are not already in the DACA program, to get them into the workforce, to get them more productive individuals in the U.S., while Congress figures out what the heck they're going to do with the immigration situation that we have here. Keep watch for new immigration issues. So again, subscribe, and we'll keep you updated. If there are no other questions, I want to thank you guys for attending our live stream today. I look forward, our next one is going to be on August 21st. So mark your calendars and look forward to that. And we'll talk about up-to-date other issues that are impacting our immigration system. And hopefully we'll have a little bit more direction on what the Harris immigration policies will be as we move forward. Again, from January 1st, we're going to have new immigration policies. It's just going to depend on what it is. Again, everyone, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to connecting to you. Give us a call, connect. Let's see how we can help you out. Thank you, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye now.